Hello, and thank you once again for joining College 2 Consulting. In this class, we're going to go over setting yourself up for success. And what this means is essentially making a game plan for you from now until the time that you start recruiting. Okay. So here's what I tell people is you need to find your strengths and you need to use that to your advantage. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to identify what your key skill is. And here are some stories I want to tell you. One of my buddies was fantastic at math. His gift was guesstimation, market sizing, mental math. He could hold a ton of numbers. I remember I gave him a case that was about batting cages or something, and he just held everything in his head and was fantastic with numbers. Very, very good at it. Okay. Where he wasn't good at was being more creative, which was my skill set, my gift. So what I was very good at is doing that thing we learned in growth strategy called capabilities based strategy, right? And that's creating a new product out of existing capabilities. And that was my bread and butter move. So what I recommend is identify what your key skill set is. And here are some things. There's capabilities based strategy, calculation, and guesstimation, just like my friend, communication, visuals, presentation style, your interest, enthusiasm, whatever. Here are some other areas that are strengths that I have never really seen pulled off yet, but I know that they could be strengths. Focusing on being green or efficient, looking at international development or international expansion, putting things online, going mobile, and competitive response, as implementation, as well as understanding packaging and marketing. So these areas all have potentials to be your key skill sets. Even if they're not up here, really try to figure out, what am I good at? What is my finishing move, okay? And why I say this is because once you can identify what your move is, then what you can start doing is you can basically develop that skill through practice. So write down the skill you want to develop. Let's say we take capabilities-based strategy. I want to know about growth strategy, and I want to be really, really good at creating new products out of existing products. Fantastic. Look for opportunities to use it. So here's what I used to do, to be honest, is when I thought that capabilities-based strategy is something I really, really like, and how could I practice it? What I would do is I would walk around, and I would walk around school, and I would walk around the shops and where I went to school, and I would just think. I would think, oh man, how could Home Depot? What else could they make out of the existing capabilities that Home Depot has? And I would create a solution. Or I would say, what else could the train system do out of existing capabilities they have? Great. And seriously, doing that helps you out. If you want to look at maybe calculating, guesstimating, you see someone who's holding a Big Mac or something. You say, great, how many Big Macs are sold in the US annually? Just doing that stuff mentally, no paper, and actually doing the math or doing whatever will help you develop that skill. Okay? Tell what your skill is that you want to develop to your partner. And what you can do is you can have your partner that you're practicing with push you to use this skill. Make sure that they have a little checklist and they can check it off once you actually do this skill. Now, that'll help you translate your skill that you've developed outside of the case to the actual case. And then keep practicing the skill outside of cases. So doing it, like I had mentioned, just walking around and just using it any opportunity you can will really help you make this a core skill set that you will have. Okay. Last part is execute this skill on command during the interview. So what this means is, here's why I say this. Let's say your skill is capabilities-based strategy, and it's a growth thing, right? Just like me. You practice it, you're really sharp at it, you're really, really good at it. Now what you want to do is you want to set up your roadmap to dive into that skill, even if it's not really needed. So let's say you have a case about profitability. Company X is losing profitability, not sure why, what can we do? Perfect. Start off with the macro level, you talk about the market, and you go over market sizing, how many people in company, or how many people are buying this type of product. You talk about revenues, costs, and then we go into volume. Now in volume, what you can do is you could say, all right, so we figured out that these are the reasons why we're losing profit, and here are some other things that we can do. We can look to grow by doing this. Another thing we could do is we can grow by capabilities-based strategy, meaning here are some other items that we could create that don't exist, but we have all the capabilities to make them. Boom. Now what you're doing is you're basically setting a trap. You're setting a trap or a hook to get the interviewer to this part of your interview, because this is where you will showcase your glorious skills and be very, very, very memorable. Okay. Next thing is you want to answer all the case from the interviewer. So you don't want to just focus on hitting that one spot. You also want to focus on hitting the objectives that were asked of you during the interview. So once you can knock those out, lead them to this path of where you want to go and where you want to show them that you are going to be fantastic. And lastly is use your new skill set to impress the interviewer by showing them that you've done research, and not only that you can do this, but you have done research on companies that have done similar things, like we talked about Lunchables at Oscar Mayer. Then you show your interviewer that you know what you're doing, and you will be very, very memorable and be probably invited to move on. Okay, so you need to keep practicing the skills you have learned. What this means is we have this timeline of preparation. So right now, we're in month 1. Let's say 3 months before you really start recruiting, this is what you should be doing. In month 1, you should be writing cover letters. As I mentioned, write them early, because unlike resumes, which can be sent to anyone and don't require any specificity, cover letters do, because they're letters to specific companies. So write cover letters early, because now you have a draft, you can do some research, and you can go to info sessions to update it, but you've already written it out. Also, tweak your resume. Start really thinking about your resume and how you would structure it to be more results oriented. And next is practice at least 3 cases per week. I would say do them with friends or as many people as you can get, but doing this will help you in this month 1 phase. You're really just shaking out the jitters of doing cases in front of people. And practice 5 behavioral questions per week. So we have that list, okay? That list of tell me about a time you showed leadership, tell me about a time you worked in a team, tell me about a time, whatever. Practice those. And what I mean by practice is answer those questions in the STAR format, as well as just start talking to yourself to see how you would answer that question. Some people like talking to a mirror. You can do that. I don't really care. Just answer it so you know how to answer it. And then I say read 2 Wall Street Journal articles per week, or Economist or Bloomberg, whatever you want to read, but read some business articles, because now you'll be more knowledgeable and learned in the area that you want to be. So when you talk to these firms during info sessions or networking events, you'll have something tangible and relevant to talk about. And then the last is meet about 1 or 2 people from each firm you're really interested in for coffee or lunch or whatever. People will do that. Reach out to them, particularly on a Friday, because Monday through Thursday they're probably flying out. But on a Friday, say, I would love to meet up with you, and I will take the time to go to your work downtown or wherever, or call you. I will call you to just talk about your firm. And this will really help to start getting your name out there. Okay? One other thing that I forgot to mention is start to practice mental math. So we have some homework up there where you will have to be forced to do about 50 mental math questions a day. Start doing that. It's not hard math. It's not calculus. It's just addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, percentage difference. Just start getting that, so now you'll have that skill set. It's something you should know how to do. Okay, now we move over into the second month. So what you should do is you should be updating your resume from your summer internship. Now you should be taking the results that you got from your internship and plugging them into your resume that already should have been kind of developed. Now continue to practice cases. What this means is the first month, you're really doing cases to get the jitters out and to just get more comfortable with it. Now in month 2, you should be thinking about the frameworks that we've gone over, as well as how to polish your case and to get really strong at it. Okay, and this is where you can be risky and try the capabilities-based strategy and try banking on something that you're really, really good at, your skill set that we talked about. And then you want to attend info sessions and career fairs. Okay? The last month. So the last month is now the month that you are interviewing. What you want to do is you want to improve with feedback. And this is why I say to do all that other stuff up front. Now look at how much more material we've gone over in month 1, month 2, and 3 than will be in month 4. So because you can do this prep work, it's like cooking, doing this prep work up front, now you don't have to really think about cover letters. Now you don't have to really think about reading Wall Street Journal articles because you've done that, or doing your company arsenal. You've already done that, so now you can focus on interviewing and improving with any feedback you have. And the last step is to rack up offers. Okay? So this is a guide of what you should be doing basically 3 to 4 months before you really start recruiting. And hopefully with the skill set that you've learned from the class, you can implement this and strengthen your other skills that you have to get to this last bullet point of racking up offers. All right. Thank you very, very much.